Once upon a time, there was a very small village of a not well-known country that not many times had appeared in maps, called La Villa de Costaluna. It was a modest town where you could find little houses painted with cheerful colors, which turned the town alive. In one of these houses lived a girl called Rosie. She was gorgeous, tall, with long blonde hair and light eyes. She was completely in love with the prince since she was 50 years old. They met when Rosie was taking a walk through the forest looking for strawberries to make a cake for her dear grandma. She was walking when suddenly she heard something that every time it was closer to her. Finally, it was the Prince Mason with his loyal horse. They had gone catching into the same forest as Rosie. When Rosie saw him, it was love at first sight. She couldn't avoid falling in love with him. The girl thought that the destiny wanted them to stay together in that place, just to meet each other in this deep forest of Costaluna. Rosie used to spend whole afternoons crying for an impossible love, she thought. She was a simple another girl of the town with no studies and no money. On the other hand, the prince was the governor of the country, handsome, and he had the studies and money, obviously. They were just friends. He had the chance to choose any girl he liked. For example, a princess from another country, beautiful and with things in common. One of those afternoons, Mason went to visit Rosie and he invited her to a party celebrated by the kingdom. She was speechless and astonished by his proposal. It was one of these parties that she always would like to be on, and Mason finally asked her to go with him. It was a very popular party that was celebrated every year for Queen Elizabeth's birthday. It came kings and princes from around the world, England, Spain, New York, Hawaii, Iceland. All of them were gathered and they celebrated. There were always lots of people and the kingdom was filled. Each prince had to go accompanied by a princess or just a normal girl. And that's what Mason did with Rosie.
When the day came, in the morning, Rosie was disturbed and really nervous. She didn't know what clothes she was going to wear. She was searching and she finally found his mother's wedding dress. And she didn't doubt that this dress was going to be perfect. At night, when Rosie entered to the kingdom's party, everybody looked at her with amazement. Anybody trust that she was going so beautiful and with an amazing dress. When Mason saw him, he didn't doubt it to let her to dance. He finally told her that he was in love with her since he met her in the first time in the forest. She gets thrilled and she kissed Mason in front of everybody. Since that moment, they knew that they were going to be in love until the end of their lives. Mason left the kingdom and he escaped with Rosie. They built a little house in the forest and they lived there, and they were happy together.